What's up guys, it's Missy. I am back with another SimCity Build-It video. Today we're going to be doing a high-level contest estimator's walkthrough for the City Sniper. It's the first one I've done of his, although I have been kind of reviewing his stuff off and on from the background on his Discord for the last couple of weeks. Just kind of been seeing his overall average score and how he does. Have never actually really reviewed his week, so we're going to review his week because he had a kind of bad score this week compared to usual. Normally he scores the average, 215 to 223K. That's standard for if you're making almost all the right choices, or, pretty much all the right choices. So this week, his score was significantly less, although it's double points week. We would be cutting that score in half. So we're going to go through and see what happened this week and if it's just a bad week or if it's something that he did to cause it. All right, so anything that is 6K is obviously a 3K task. All right, everything's just cut in half. So we're going to go through, we're going to do a task assessment, and then we will proceed on. So anything that is 2,000 points or higher in your list, so in this case 4,000 points or higher, is going to be marked as a main task. Okay, that is an assignment that usually gets done before any others, right? All right. Then we have rotatable assignments. Those are assignments in your list below 4,000 points on a double week. Anything that has the ability to be worth 3,000 points or higher has the ability to be worth 3,000 points. Is a premium assignment. Anything that has the ability to be worth over 3,000 points is a high premium assignment, okay? Anything that cannot be worth 3,000 points is a non-premium assignment. Now, all this stuff is super important later when you are doing the order of rotation. If you don't know what any of this stuff really means, you really should watch the 2022 comm guide video. And you guys, the comm lingo video is actually really informative. It's not just me telling you what the abbreviations mean. Okay, so check that video out if you haven't already. All right, so let's begin. We have a premium in the streaks, a complete rows in Export HQ. Now, this assignment comes at a risk, all right? For high-level players, depending on how many regional maps you have unlocked, it's going to, basically it's going to mean that you either need to secure this in the main list so it doesn't come in the streaks at all, or that you need to make sure that you have secured your factory productions if you have all of your regional HQs open so that you don't have to worry about them being closed by the time you get to the streaks. In other words, you work everything kind of around this task. Now, this task is already in the streaks, which means that all he really has to make sure of is that he leaves at least one regional HQ open by the time he hits streaks. Now, normally this player moves quick, and that means that he's, doing everything right. And as long as he moves quick, he doesn't have to worry as much about there being a high risk to this assignment, right? Because that means that his regional HQs won't be closed anyways. So we have a premium high algorithm Omega in the main list, starting at the top, which is good. That's a 6K assignment, okay? So that's main premium. Now, not necessarily the first obvious choice. It depends. He also has the work hard there. That one can be done pretty much instantly, right? But I'm sure his Omega can be done pretty quick too. That being said, I would have went with the Omega first, being how it has a really high rotation, and I would want that to come back as much as possible. So that's what I would have done first. Not sure what he did yet. I can't remember. Even though I flipped through his choices, I don't remember everyone. Then he has a premium London. Okay. Now this, like I said, is premium. It is at main task value, so that would be the third obvious choice if nothing better comes from these two doorways, right? Then we have a non-premium plastic. Now, non-premium shop productions and factory productions are for high-level players. They're marked premium for low-level players. If you're a low-level player, you really shouldn't be watching high-level walkthroughs. They're just going to confuse you. All right, so here he would have had something prepped in his factories, like probably electrical or feed, more than likely electrical, so he would not be clearing out that to do plastic, right? He would be moving to something else. Now we have the premium leaf simoleons. That would be probably one of his first rotatable options. You know, you go with your highest premium at, you know, highest algorithm. Now he has a coins task. Okay, that's non-premium. Probably not going to do that for the duration of the contest, as it has an extremely high algorithm on it, and it's non-premium. It doesn't make sense to even open up the possibility, right? You don't do these assignments because they just continue to come back repeatedly, and then they just cover up your good doorways, and then they're no good to you. Okay, so then we have a non-premium smoothies task, which is 1,200 on a normal week, so probably won't do that one either. We have a hotspot here. Now, this is a non-premium with a really low algorithm rate, so this one will be done. We know we're going to be doing this one, okay, at some point. Then we have a premium Green Valley for 2,000, okay? So that is also going to be, that's going to be one of our premiums that we rotate in as soon as our main tasks are done. Then we have a non-premium monster at no touch value, and then a premium VU. Decent algorithm rate on the VU, so that will be rotated in as well. And then we have a design challenge at no touch value. So he started with the Omega. That was the correct choice. Then he did the war card upgrade. Okay. Is my brightness all the way up? Jesus. What is going on here? I don't know why I can't see that. All right. Whoop. So he does that, and he gets... Okay, so let me I got to pay attention to these doorways, you guys. So doorway 1 is the Omega, right? So he does that, and he gets... he gets delivered to Tokyo in doorway 1's place. All right, cool. So then he does doorway 2, and he gets the war disaster taken care of. He doesn't get the war disaster. He does doorway 2, which is the war disaster. And he gets... What did he get? Okay, he got the limestone. So on doorway 2, he gets limestone, and he does that for 4,000. That's a main task. So doorway 2 is then replaced with a pretty much a no-touch repair. It's not necessarily no-touch for the whole duration, but we're probably not going to do it again. So at this point, this is not surprising. Usually for high-level people, what ends up happening is you guys do your first main doorways, right? You open up the possibility of receiving those assignments. Those assignment doorways are then covered up with something usually that you're not going to do. And then you move to rotate your premium doorways. And in that case, it reopens these doorways up, and you start getting your repeat tasks rolling in. When you screw with the order of rotation, even if you get a good assignment afterwards, it does not mean that you chose correctly. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the video. Okay, so here he does the London. So he switches to doorway number 3. Okay, what did I just say was going to happen? Right? So he switches doorways, and now he's starting to get his repeat tasks. Now we know that Omega has a high algorithm attached to it, right? So getting this one taken care of as much as we can is essential. So he does this one again. We're 5 assignments in, okay? Average is looking good so far. It's then replaced with an assignment that he's probably not going to do. Now here, he has no more main tasks. So the order of rotation is that once all main tasks are gone, you move to your highest premium, right? Okay. So his highest premium is the leaf simoleons for 3,100. He has the VU for 2,000. He has the Green Valley for 2,000 and below. Those are his premiums, right? Sniper, next time take more bottom screenshots. So he does that, and he gets a 4,800 Old Town. Now this is a high premium, but the algorithm isn't super high on these, but they are high premiums. They should be done. It's got a good value on it. That main task value or higher, right? So if it had come in for below main task value, given that it had just come in for a lower value, we would be moving to our VU, right? But since it came in for main task value, we're obviously going to do it. So far this doorway's been good to us, right? As soon as you get 2 or more main tasks from a doorway, start really paying attention to that doorway and counting it. And that's why you guys really need to make sure you're taking your screenshots so you can look back on it. So here we have premium doorway, right? Good. Good. Main, London. Good, sunny. Okay, so we've gotten 4 tasks now. Really good doorway. Again, good doorway. So now we're on the 5th assignment. That's good. We've got almost a 6,000 on the ice cream. Okay, and it gets replaced with a regular residential. Now, here's the kicker. That is one of our good doorways. Now, we need to remember that. But we still have to follow the order of rotation. We always calculate doorways into it, but we really want to follow the order of rotation. So let's keep going here. So now he does his premium, which would be the VU, right? Okay. He gets waves. So we're picking back up, right? We're going through the same cycle. If you go back to the cycle that he had before, he had a wave coin, or not a wave, but he had a regional coin. Let's double check just for a second. I want to make sure. Where did you do? Okay, so he had a leaf coin, then he had upgrade, or delivery, upgrade, shop production. Okay, so now he does VU, he gets regional coin, common war attack, so again, good assignments. See where I'm going with this? There's our residential upgrade. Now he gets a main task epic. Now epics have a pretty decent algorithm attached to them. They usually come back in like rather quickly in about 3, and then they either stay away or they are in your list for a while. You don't really want the epics turn into main tasks, but with high level players, they don't have near as many issues with this because they have so many maps they can do epics on. They don't have to worry about the cooldown. So he can go ahead and do this without any issue. All right, so here is where the first mistake of the week comes. Now, this player knows better than this. So my question to them is, what in the hell were you thinking? Right? Because he knows better. He does. This is a 1,900 point assignment. What is the rule for the order of rotation? The order of rotation is what? When all main tasks are gone. You're following a pattern here. We did main tasks. Main tasks are gone. We move to rotables, starting with our highest premium, highest algorithm first. Right? Okay? He didn't do that. He left that, if you don't remember, there's that Green Valley upgrade down at the bottom. That is a premium. Okay? So that would have opened up the cycle that we're going for. We're going for main, rotatable premium, open up more main, rotatable premium, open, until you have no more premiums rolling in, and then you move to highest non-premium, lowest algorithm rate, so that it opens up more main premiums. You're just trying to cycle through this concept here, right? He screwed it up, the cycle. Now, even if he gets good assignments after this, that doesn't mean that he didn't screw up the cycle. Let's watch, okay? So he does this assignment, leaving the Green Valley doorway down at the bottom. Gets a main task. Now, I can't remember if he was not in war or something. I remember midweek he sent a message, something about war. Yeah, okay, so he put that. Thank you for the screenshot. Attack phase is in 2.5 hours, so he basically had a choice to make. He either waits the 3 hours or he proceeds on. So he might as well proceed on. Now he goes and he rotates the doorway that he should have rotated, right? Okay, so he does that, and he immediately gets what? He gets his main task. Okay, cool. But it's his VU, right? Right, okay. But we've already screwed up the rotation order here. We've screwed up our doorway. Like, it's something that you notice when you play enough and you grade enough lists. You really start to pick up on these patterns. And a lot of people, that really care to play calm and really care about like kind of the nerdy aspects of it. And I know this player does because he's got all kinds of sheets and he takes crazy amounts of screenshots and you can tell he's into the mechanics of it. Pay attention to all the patterns. Go back through your screenshots and look at where things went wrong. Now, here's the thing, you guys. I'm going to save that for the end of the video, okay? I'm going to save that because that's important. All right, so we've got the non-premium cargo here, and we've got the premium war. Now, here, he's done the regular residential, or not the, sorry, the Green Valley, okay? I can't remember what's at the bottom of his list. Okay, finally, okay. So here, here's where I believe he makes his next mistake. No, it wasn't here. Okay, so he does his Tokyo. This is correct. So he's doing his premium, getting that rotated up. All right. Now he gets his main task. Now he gets his main task again. Now here's where he screws up. All right. So he gets main task. Now it gets replaced with a non-premium downtime on textiles. Okay. So here he's 1 hour closer to war. So he has a choice. He can either wait for war, right? Or he can continue on. Now, I would have continued on, not because he's hurting so bad for time, but because I know that that doorway that he's waiting on isn't going to be super great. It's not going to make or break him. He's going to have to rotate something down below soon anyways, so he might as well just keep working, right? That also, given that he probably has 2 regional HQs open, I'm not 100% sure how he does those assignments. I know some people like to bulldoze stuff, so if that's the case, then it wasn't as pressing he continue on, but nevertheless, I would have continued on. But I would not have done what he did. Okay? Now, here's the thing. He went back to this assignment because if you don't remember, at the beginning of the week, this was his good doorway, right? But he didn't follow the order of rotation. Remember when I say you have to factor in? Factor in your doorways. But that is not the ultimate deciding factor here, right? It's part of it. So you look at your pros, you look at your cons, and then you take your doorway into consideration. Now here, let's really analyze this, because this wasn't an easy choice. I will give him that. Okay, this was a more advanced choice. I would not be surprised if... No, Lala probably would have got that right. But I wouldn't be surprised if she got it wrong. She's got it wrong many times when something like this happens, okay? So, what's the order of rotation? Now, we've already established that we're going to continue on for beneficial reasons. So, ignoring the lunch club disaster, okay? The order of rotation is that when all premiums are gone, that you move to your highest non-premium with the lowest algorithm rate. Now, do you remember at the beginning of the video? Hold on, looking for the bottom screenshot here. When I said that that hotspot is something we're going to have to get taken care of. That hotspot, how often do you see that assignment, you guys? Almost never. And it almost never comes back. I mean, it does sometimes come back like one more time. But it's rare, right? It's really far down on the list. Okay. Looking at the rest of this list, you also want to look at your other assignments. That's why when people send me, lists of things that they've chosen, it means nothing to me. I can't see the assignments surrounding that assignment. I don't know what else is there. If you have a flood of factory tasks, that gives me an indicator you're probably going to get more factory tasks, right? So looking at all the stuff around this, we can pretty much cross off design challenge, monster, smoothies, plastic, coins. The delivery to Tokyo was already done. So looking at the bottom of this list, there isn't a whole lot to go on, right? Okay. We know that regular residential has a higher algorithm than hotspot, right? It's more likely to come back. Now, it does have a good doorway attached to it, so there's that. But this doorway is wide open because we know that this assignment's not going to come back, right? Then we know that we're probably going to be doing the club disaster shortly after that because that one will probably open up more good tasks. So we may not have to do that regular residential doorway at all. He doesn't make that choice. Okay? He makes the choice to, where is it? He makes a choice to do his good doorway, which I understand why he did that, but it was wrong. Okay, so he does that. Now, he gets his main task, not surprising, and then it immediately gets replaced with what? A delivery to Paris for crap. I'm not surprised. Okay? Now he does cargo. Why? What is the algorithm rate on cargo? It's higher than hotspot, so it looks like he's picking his assignments based on value right here. I don't think he even factored in hotspot. So he does that. Now he gets his Omega. Okay. Now limestone. These are his repeat tasks. But what are you guys noticing? This is a perfect week to show you guys what's happening here. What happened here? He made another mistake. This is the first time all week long that his list has started rolling in trash like this. Like, normally when he gets a crap assignment, it's usually several main assignments later, and then he has something else to go back on to open up that and, cycle it back through. But the moment that he made that mistake, his whole tone of his week changed. He's now got Paris for garbage, veggies are garbage, and now he goes and does plastic, non-premium, garbage, right? Plastic doesn't have a super high algorithm attached to it, but it's higher than hotspot, right? And ultimately, we really need to look up, we need to, get good doorways opened up here. So, at this point, he was way too close to the war to even mess with the plastic. He was only like a half hour away at this point. So he should have just waited, honestly, then take another hit. And these doorways are not being good to him. I would have just said, screw it, either rotated in the hotspot or went with the club attack. Okay, so he does that, and he gets his Old Town, then Green Valley, then Launch VU, then Omega, now back to the Neocoins, right? So if you're noticing the pattern, going back to when he did the Neocoins, right? So here we've got Neocoins again for 3,440. Now, he again doesn't make the decision to stop and wait for the Club Wars, which is very close because it only had like 2 hours and like 50 minutes or something. So it's really close. And he chooses to do Paris. Why? Why Paris? None of these have been proven to be good doorways so far, aside from the Neocoins that you just did, right? I mean, that one gave you a couple okay tasks, but ultimately it's just, that's the problem, is you're just kind of, with all the tasks, with all the hits you've taken on your score with these bad assignments rolling in, it's not really making your score go up, it's kind of evening you out, right? So, again, should have waited for the Club Wars or done the hotspot. Now he gets his VU, okay? Now he's 6 assignments away from being able to start streaks, but he doesn't have any factory productions, although he's 5 days in. I mean, he's got 5 days left, so not super hurting for time here, all right? He's doing well on time. London Town building, so he does Paris, he gets VU, he gets London, he gets Omega, VU. Hold up. Okay, so here here we get the regular residential again. Now, this will be the second time he's done this assignment, right? Granted, he did get good assignments, but now we're into the war phase. 4 days, 23 hours. Why is he doing this? Why didn't he do his attack and club wars? It's main task value. It's 800 points more. It's been sitting there for how long? He chose that assignment because he thought it was a good doorway. So all week long, we can conclude that this player has chosen their assignments based on value and based on doorways and nothing else. That's what it looks like to me. And their score is going to show you why that was not good, right? This is why you have to look at everything. If you could just simplify it to that, you think I'd have 900 videos? Come on now. You can get a good score, yes, but you're not going to get a top score doing stuff like this. He took an 800-point hit on his score to do that assignment when he could have done his main task assignment down below. Okay, so he gets his VU again. Now he's at 22 tasks remaining. Now he gets the blue textiles. I'm not surprised, honestly. Look at these assignments are all just trash. The ones that are coming in are trash, is what I'm saying. You get a few good ones, and then you just get total garbage thereafter. So he does his club wars, all right? Gets his Paris for main task value. Obviously gets a upgrade war card for main task value, okay? Gets Omega for main task value. Gets VU for main task value. We're on 4 now. Gets war disasters, 6K, okay? Cactus, we're on 7. We're counting 7 assignments. Now we're on 8. Now we're on 9. 9 assignments. Main task value. And he makes another mistake. 9 assignments he got. Now, how many of you guys watched along with this video and saw that doorway and went, oh man, you should just wait. That's your good one. You can just tell. By following the steps, by following the pattern in which he took, you could tell that that was his good one. How many times did I say, ooh, he needs to stop. He needs to stop. He needs to wait. You can continue on as long as you're doing good, right? But the moment that it starts affecting your score, you need to stop and take a priority check, okay? 9 main task assignments right after he did that task. Then he gets a very low algorithm, oil. Now, this assignment sucks. It does. But what is the order of rotation? Non-premium assignments with lowest algorithm rate, right? Now, he is right before the streaks, okay? So his theory, I'm guessing, okay, is that because he's before the streaks, he wants to rotate in something like the keys, okay? The issue with this, honestly, is he doesn't need the time. He doesn't. So when you really think about it, we know that he's probably not going to get those factory assignments in. Have you seen any indicator that he's going to get factory tasks coming in? I mean, is it possible? Yeah, anything's possible. But it's unlikely that he's just going to start getting factory tasks rolling in. And even so, does he need that time? No. So what we can conclude is that if we rotate now, we have a chance that we're going to get a 6K VU, we're going to get a 6K war card upgrade, we're going to get something, possibly even the Omega upgrade, because those are the repeat tasks this week. Now, we really don't want those to get stuck in the main list. He's running out of assignments. He can take it all the way down to 9. If I was going to do one more rotation, I would have went with that hotspot. because it hasn't been done yet. Not necessarily because of any other reason than possibly kicking in something to secure in the main list, right? Changing up the whenever you guys change up doorways, it changes up the, how do I explain, the pattern in which you receive your assignments. And that's what we're going to talk about kind of at the end of this video. So he does that, he gets his lunch legendary, which obviously becomes the next choice. Now we get our 6K Omega, we knew that was coming in. This one has actually been a repeat task this week. This is like the third time he's got this. So he does that. Now here, so he went back here, now he gets main task, main task, main task. Now he's got a 6K VU stuck in his list. Now, he couldn't possibly have really predicted that was going to happen. Although, I probably, because I knew that, because you didn't need the time, and you knew you weren't going to secure factories, I probably would have left that to sit until after the streaks and then done it. Now, that's not the, it's not, I understand why he did it, but I wouldn't have, but I understand why he did. So now he's got a 6K VU stuck in his list he can't do, so now he's going to move on to streaks. So moving on to streaks, he gets the Export HQ, Omega, bread rolls, delivery to London, bonus points, delivery to London, wave coins, pizza, Tokyo delivery, bonus points, bread rolls again, keys, London, Omega, bonus, Tokyo, keys, shop, Tokyo, building, bonus, wave coins, delivery, chemicals, bonus points, delivery, residential upgrade, well, cactus, silk, Tokyo, bonus points. So he ended with, let's see, 150 to like 160-ish thousand. That's terrible compared to what he normally gets. He's like 50K off of his normal score. Yeah. Now, how many mistakes were made this week as opposed to all of his other weeks? He's made more mistakes this week than he's made in all of his other weeks combined. And it's all because of his new way of picking his assignments. He's looking at doorway and value. Doorway is just a piece of what you're looking at. Now, remember when I told you guys at the end of this video I had something to tell you? Many people assume that if they do an assignment, because this has happened many times when I train people, usually what happens is I go through choices that have already been made, and I explain why they were right or I explain why they were wrong, okay? Now, once a bad choice has already been made, I can only do so much to correct it. But it's hard to show people what is supposed to happen when most of the people that you're using as an example make mistakes, right? So it's rare that I get situations where I can show you guys the pattern of what's supposed to happen as opposed to what's happening. Now, when you're somebody who's just starting out and you're picking your assignments, it seems as though there's no rhyme or reason for any of it. You know, you're looking at it and you're just like, there's so many variables to look at that you don't notice the patterns. But when you start playing consistently and you follow a strict technique in which you're choosing your assignments, you notice, like, hey, how is it coincidence that the 1 week where I made more mistakes than ever, I have like a 50,000 drop on my score? Is that a coincidence? No. He knows it's not. And many people know that as well. But when you don't have consistency, when you're not following a technique, you don't notice that. So, looking at his choices this week, let's say that you do an assignment and you get good assignments after, right? People think that that automatically makes that the right choice. No. No. Countless times I've had people in comm training and they send in their list. I don't catch them before they make the mistake. They make the mistake and then they get a good assignment immediately after, right? Okay? Not a predictable assignment. Not like, hey, okay, we knew this was going to happen assignment. Like just a random, like a 3K task or something. And they're like, oh, well, see, what I did was right because I got a good task. No. You have just screwed up the order of rotation. You have screwed up the way your doorways are spitting out your assignments. So now, instead of having consistency with main, rotatable, open up main, rotatable, open up main, and so on, now you have main, rotatable, main, go to this rotatable, jump to this doorway, oh, got this 3K task, oh, dropped over here, oh, went high over there, and you've jumbled everything. All your repeat tasks are completely out of whack. You've got stuff flowing in that wouldn't have flowed in otherwise because you jumped around the wrong way. And you're assuming that you're making the right choices because you had a good task immediately follow that choice. No, you screwed up. If you were to go back through this week and start over, you can make factory tasks come in by choosing differently. You have your main, remember when I said you have your start week? Okay, your starting list. You do those assignments. Those assignments almost always get covered with something that you cannot or you should not do, okay? Then you do the lower premiums that mirror those assignments, like your VU, like your upgrade, regional. Those open up those doorways for those repeat tasks to come back in. That's what's happening. When you screw with that rotation order, when you jump into the middle and you do those non-premiums before your premiums, you change the flow of the rotation. So even if you get an assignment immediately after that's good, you're not going to continue with the same path that you were on. If doorway 1 leads to doorway number 2, which goes back to doorway number 1, if you continue that cycle through the whole week, okay, and it's good to you and it's keeping your steady average at a consistency, when that stops, you have to decide what doorway is going to bring you back to doorway number 1, essentially. Not literally doorway number 1 in the list, but it's a metaphor, okay? You're trying to go back with the flow. But when you screw with the order, you're not going to get back in with the flow of things. You're just going to be all over the place, okay? Which is proven this week. It's proven it. Most of the non-premium assignments that he had that were immediately followed with a good assignment were almost immediately followed with another bad assignment. So it was a decline in score, then an increase, then a decline. So it didn't up him, it just made his stuff garbage. So if you go back to the point where we're looking at that Club Wars assignment, if you guys have watched my walkthroughs, you know that there's walkthroughs with a lot of people where I'm like, oh, should have done this one, and I'm staring at this one doorway for like 25 assignments. And I'm like, ooh, man, you better stop, you better do that, and you're just looking at that one doorway that's going to lead back to everything else. And he ignored that doorway for way too damn long. The moment he finally did it, he didn't get one assignment good, not even 2. We're not 4. We're talking 9 main tasks. See where I'm going with that? All mainly repeat tasks. His repeat tasks this week were Old Town, VU, Omega. He had Work Hard, I think, twice, which that's not really a repeat task. I don't really consider it a repeat task until it comes in at least 3 or more times. But he had an order. Then when he got to the streaks, it cost him a lot of cash because it was a lot of deliveries, which sucks. So that hotspot should have been rotated in. The neocoins shouldn't have been done at that time. And that club war should definitely not have been left to go that long. Just remember, you guys, when you're doing your comm math, so to speak, make sure you're always looking at everything. Everything. Don't just assume that you're going to conclude your answer based on a doorway or value in itself. All right?